In this video, I'm ranking every game mode in Brawl Stars from worst to best. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty curious how similar our opinions on game modes are. Let me know down below why I'm wrong, or maybe why you agree with me. Oh, and by the way, I'm kind of only talking about playing these modes like in ladder, because in Map Maker, I feel like a lot of those modes can play super different. I mean, like, is it really Showdown when everyone is in a tiny square in the center of the map? You know? Oh, and note number 2, Showdown Plus is technically event modifier. It's not a whole new event, okay? It's just another form of Showdown, just like energy drink is also another form. Oh, and note number 3, I'm not gonna talk about modes that, you know, aren't actually in Brawl Stars right now, like basketball or volleyball. Okay. All right, so with that, at number 9, my worst game mode in Brawl Stars, in my opinion, it's gotta be Siege. Look, the proof is in the pudding. It got removed from Power League, the one competitive mode in an arguable more competitive game mode, Siege. It's gone. But why do I not like Siege? Honestly, sometimes it just feels kind of gimmicky. And also, winning that first robot has way too much importance, in my opinion. It's the whole reason a brawler like Mortis, who is horrible at attacking the Ike and defending against the robot, which you would think is like one of the most important things in the mode, but is still actually quite decent in Siege because the only thing he does is goes around and gets bolts and causes you to win robots. But honestly, just running around and picking up bolts in order to get robots and then set up spawn traps, to me, is just not very exciting, and it feels kind of frustrating. Also, there are some stupid gimmicky things that are crazy strong at defending, like Lou, and that's the only thing he's really good at in Siege, and like other similar stuff where it's just not very balanced. Okay, next up, my second least favorite game mode in Brawl Stars. At number 8, it is Bounty. I feel like some people might get mad at me for having Bounty this low, but honestly, at my trophy range, it just doesn't feel very exciting. I feel like as you get higher in trophies, Bounty gets more and more boring because people start to play more smart and more passive. As a result, you take some damage, you back up, you backpedal, you heal to full health if you're smart, right, randoms? But as a result, that really slows down the pace of Bounty, and for me, it makes it a lot more boring. It makes it kind of more passive and spawn campy. Another negative about Bounty is the meta tends to be pretty stale. Yes, there are some maps where you can go close range brawlers, but it tends to be still a stale meta on that map. On the plus side, it is a relatively skill-based game mode and does require a little bit of teamwork, but not necessarily. It's not quite enough for it to be higher in the ranking for me. By the way, quick shout out to everyone who uses code Cory, or any creator code for that matter. It does help support us a lot, and it is really helpful. Thank you. Next up at number 7, for me, it's gotta be Heist. Well, I do feel like Heist has the potential to be really fun. I feel like in reality, it's often not quite as you would hope. It can be more of a stalemate. Sometimes, like if you're in safe zone and everyone's just shooting down to the middle and you're just trying to find your way past that. Or on the other side of the coin, sometimes it's a bit of a base race where no one's defending and everyone's just all in on the safe. Although, actually, I feel like if you're playing this game mode competitively, like, and you have your teammates together with you on voice chat, you can coordinate your movements, you can defend and attack coordinatedly, like, really well, and then it can be really fun. But with randoms, a lot of times the teamwork is just totally disjointed, and this game mode really requires a lot of teamwork in order to attack and defend effectively. For me, that's one of the main reasons why it's pretty low. Next up at number 6 is Hot Zone. And actually, I feel like Hot Zone kind of is similar to Heist in that it has potential to be really fun if you're playing with coordinated teammates. But a lot of time with randoms, you just don't get that effect of working together in a smart fashion. I mean, to be real, when you're facing off with enemies about to enter a zone and you outskill them and you start to capture that zone, it does actually feel quite fun and rewarding. But then you're just going, okay, let's look at the watch. I gotta wait a couple seconds for them to respawn. You're just sitting there waiting and waiting. The Jeopardy theme music is playing in the background. I mean, it just turns a really rewarding moment of outskilling your opponent into just deflated, boring, you know, I'm just sitting back and waiting. It's definitely not always like that, which is why it's not lower on my list, but that's also why it's not higher on my list. At number 5 is the OG game mode, Gem Grab, the mode that everyone starts with, but is also kind of really frustrating to play with randoms. I actually think Gem Grab can be really, really fun, especially because of the comeback potential of this mode where you can stop people countdown. You know, even just killing them and giving your team the chance to get more gems can allow you to come back in games, and that is really exciting. I mean, like, gem grab is the one mode where actually having one person in every lane is really important, so you can set up spawn traps and gain control of the maps, but of course, playing with randoms, that doesn't happen. Also, playing with randoms, people lose gems in stupid ways all the time. Okay, at number 4, it's Knockout. And let me be real, Knockout is Bounty, but better, basically. I mean, honestly, for me, it takes that bad parts of Bounty, the slow pace and the stale meta, and makes it more exciting. Knockout is way more fast-paced and exciting. Since Bow Totem got nerfed, that is. I mean, in that period, it was awful. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can still have those bad randoms in Knockout, but, you know, depending on the brawler you're playing, you might still have a chance at coming back. And to be honest, I like the thought process that goes on in Knockout where you have to sort of manage your resources. And what I mean is you gotta figure out when you want to use those gadgets. Yeah, you only got 3 gadgets and there's 3 rounds. If you make it to 3 rounds, or maybe you need to secure yourself getting to that 2nd round or 3rd round or whatever. Or even just like saving your super for the next round, like I can maybe win without it. Or even letting your teammate get that last kill because you have your super to allow them to get more of theirs. I'm not so sure my random teammates think about this that much, but it does make it more fun. If I had to say something negative about Knockout, it would probably be that if your team gets completely rolled in the 1st round, your enemy has all their supers, you really didn't get yours, you're probably really gonna get rolled in the 2nd round as well. But, you know, maybe you deserve it. Also, Knockout is a little assassin heavy, but I honestly don't feel like that's a huge problem. Okay, my number 3 best game mode in Brawl Stars, it is Brawl Ball. It is a classic game mode, and it is a really, really fun. It's the most fun sport mode I feel like we've had. I mean, honestly, I feel like Brawl Ball is one of those few modes where you can really combine teamwork and skill. If you have really good teamwork, you can get a lot done in Brawl Ball. But that doesn't necessarily mean you have to, every single time, have good teamwork. You can still individually play really well and make a big impact in Brawl Ball, which doesn't necessarily feel as true with some of the other modes. On top of that, I do feel like there's a relatively wide variety of brawlers you can play in Brawl Ball. Although if I had to say negative stuff about Brawl Ball, there are definitely a lot of bad randoms, especially ones that pick stupid brawlers for the map. They're probably just doing quests. But let's be real, the worst part about randoms in Brawl Ball is that when they trick shot or miss easy goals, it definitely really sucks to completely outplay the enemy and then for one of your teammates to just miss an easy goal. So my 2nd best game mode in Brawl Stars is Solo Showdown. And let's be real, as long as you don't get really high trophies in Showdown, it's a super fun game mode. You can play almost any brawler as long as you adapt your play style to the map, which in some cases might just be camping, which could be a negative. But still, the fact that there's quite a varied meta makes it more fun and enjoyable. You can face a lot of different brawlers. And for the most part, in Showdown, playing smart rewards you with higher placements. As long as you play smart and outskill people, you should consistently do well, which isn't always the case in other modes. But I mean, let's be real, the main reason a lot of us play a ton of Showdown is because there are no bad randoms. You know, besides us. Although, of course, the worst part about Showdown is obviously teaming. As you get higher and higher trophies, you get more and more teaming, and it just feels frustrating to face and lose for those type of things. So obviously my best game mode in Brawl Stars is Duo Showdown, because basically it's Showdown but better. There's no teaming involved, and honestly, let's be real, the meta in Duo Showdown is better than it is in Showdown, because you can play whatever brawler you want and then pick a brawler that matches up with it well for your teammates. You can make a wide variety of combinations. Words are hard. I mean, yeah, okay, you might still have a bad random as your teammate. You can't totally avoid that, but it's only 1 bad random instead of 2. So, you know, it's easier to carry 1 person than 2, right? And okay, yeah, I have technically seen teaming in Duo Showdown, but it is pretty infrequent, so it's fine. I mean, don't do it, but the amount is fine. Let me know what you think of my ranking down below. What did you agree with? What did you disagree with? Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you later.